Have you ever started your car, seen the Volkswagen logo flash up, then watched it disappear, only to come back again and again forever? That endless restart isn't just annoying, it's a symptom of something much deeper inside your infotainment system. If your Volkswagen, Audi, Seat or Skoda system keeps rebooting, do not ignore it. And definitely don't accept the first replacement quote you get. Because in most cases, that endless restart, what we call a boot loop, can actually be repaired, not replaced. And understanding why it's happening could save you thousands. In this video, I'll show you what actually causes your infotainment to get stuck in that endless reboot loop, and why it looks exactly the same whether it's software or hardware fault, why most garages and even main dealers can't really fix it, and what proper diagnostics actually reveal. And finally, what you should do if this happens to your car. The smart, step-by-step way to get it repaired without spending thousands. Imagine your laptop crashes halfway through an update. The screen goes black, the logo appears, then nothing. It restarts, tries again, and fails every time. No matter how many times you reboot it, it never makes it to the desktop. That's exactly what's happening when your infotainment system keeps rebooting. It's not haunted, it's not random, it's a computer stuck in a boot loop because something deep inside has gone wrong. Your infotainment unit is at its core a computer, just one that happens to live inside your car's dashboard. It runs complex software stored on chips and is powered by the car's 12-volt system. When that software becomes corrupted or a physical component inside fails, the system can't complete its startup cycle. So it does the only thing it knows how to do. It tries again and again. And that's why you're seeing on the screen. The logo flashes up, the system hits a wall, and restarts in an endless loop. There are two main causes of this. Number one being the software corruption, usually after a flat battery, a jump start, or a voltage drop mid-update. Number two cause is the hardware failure, where a processor or memory chip or power regulator physically stops working. From the driver's seat, both look identical. That's what makes this fault tricky, and guessing doesn't work. Most garages, even main dealers, can't repair these systems. The diagnostic tools will scan the car and say something like, no communication with the infotainment module, and because they can't communicate with it, the next step in the process is simple: replace it. But that only gives surface level information. It tells you that the unit is not responding, not why it isn't. On top of the dealer's factory diagnostic tools, we use engineering grade equipment that allows us to go much deeper, measuring internal voltages, tracing data signals, and checking the integrity of the individual chips directly. That's how we can tell whether it's a software glitch or a hardware fault instead of just guessing. We've seen it time and time again. A dealer diagnoses that unit, costs several £1,000s for replacement, but when properly tested, it turns out to be a single failed component, something that can be repaired at board level. When diagnostics confirm the hardware is fine, the next step is a firmware rebuild. That means completely reinstalling the system software from the ground up. This is a delicate process. One interruption, even a power blip, can corrupt it again, often to the point beyond repair. But when done correctly, it restores the infotainment system to its exact factory condition. We had an example of a Passat where the screen rebooted every 30 seconds. The hardware tested perfectly. After a full firmware rebuild, it powered up normally and every feature worked exactly as before. No replacement needed. If the hardware checks out clean, a software rebuild is almost always the fix. Now, if diagnostics show a physical fault inside the unit, that's where the board level repair comes in. Inside these infotainment systems, you've got a main processor, memory chips, power circuits, and communication lines all working together. When one fails, maybe a memory chip has degraded or a solder joint cracked from heat, the system can't finish booting. And remember, the electronics inside car live a much harder life than the ones in your house. They're constantly exposed to heat, cold, vibration, and moisture. so conditions that slowly stress components over time. Compare that to something like a TV, which sits in one place in stable condition and never gets shaken up. So it's not surprise that car electronics do fail. It's just the nature of the environment they'll have to survive in. We repair these directly to the circuit board using precision electronic tools. Once the component is replaced or reflowed, the board is reassembled, tested and coded back into the car. A proper Volkswagen Group specialist should be able to resolve the same fault for a fraction of the cost, and because the original unit stays in the car, all your coding, settings and features remain exactly as they should. It's also far better for the environment. Repairing existing hardware avoids scrapping complex electronics that still have plenty of life left in them. So why don't dealers do this themselves? It's not because they're trying to upsell you, it's simply how their manufacturer's system works. Dealership technicians are trained to replace components, not to repair them. The diagnostics confirm whether a module responds. If it doesn't, they order a new one, fit it, code it, and move on. It's a process built for efficiency, not investigation. The result, whether it's a corrupted file or failed chip, both end up with the same outcome, full replacement. That's why understanding what's actually happening can save you so much money and frustration. If your infotainment keeps rebooting, here's what you should do. First, try a soft reset. Hold the power button for around 10 to 15 seconds until the screen shuts off and restarts. It won't fix deeper faults, but it helps rule out a temporary glitch. Every model is a little different, so it's best to check your car's manual for the correct reset procedure. On many Volkswagen models, holding the power button works, but in some Audis or Skodas, it might be a different button combination. So best check your manual. Step 2, check the battery. If this started after a battery gone flat, or if you've done the jump start, get the 12-volt system checked. Low voltage is one of the most common triggers. Step 3, don't pull random fuses or disconnect anything randomly. It's tempting to force a reset, but that can make the things worse or corrupt the system entirely. Step 4, book a proper diagnostics check. Choose a workshop that can go beyond basic coding reading, someone with experience in Volkswagen Group infotainment systems. Step 5, explore repair before replacement. If you've been told it needs a new unit, get a second opinion. Many of these systems can be repaired at board or software level, but it has to be done by someone who really knows Volkswagen Group electronics. It's crucial to find an experienced specialist, otherwise a failed attempt can damage the unit beyond repair. Step 6, confirm warranty and turnaround. A transparent repairer will always offer both. Step 7, test everything afterwards. CarPlay, Bluetooth, navigation, camera, make sure all features work exactly as before. A correct repair will be indistinguishable from new. Step 8, be careful with second-hand units. Don't be tempted to buy an infotainment unit second-hand from online marketplaces or a breaker's yard. For Volkswagen, Audi, Seat and Skoda systems, it's rarely that simple. It can easily cause more problems than it solves. These modules aren't plug and play. They often need online programming and coding through official dealer or specialist systems. When a unit is fitted into another car, it may reject proper coding, flag compatibility issues, or store hidden fault memory codes that later appear during servicing. Even if the screen seems to work, those underlying issues can affect other vehicle systems and trigger diagnostic errors, or even harm the resale value if the infotainment system is ever inspected with diagnostic tools. In short, it's a gamble and false economics, and you'll always be left wondering how long it will last before it fails again. So our rebooting infotainment system isn't rare, and in most cases it's fixable. That endless loop means something inside the system isn't completing its startup, either software corruption or a hardware fault. Dealers replace, Volkswagen Group specialists repair, and when repaired properly, your original unit will work exactly as it did from the factory, stable, reliable, and fully integrated with your car. Now, sometimes the system goes from rebooting to completely blank. No logo, no sound, no sign of life at all. And that's actually what happens when a boot loop fault is left unresolved. Each restart cycle slowly stresses the internal components until the unit eventually stops responding altogether. In the next video, I show you exactly what's happening when it reaches that point, why the screen suddenly goes black, how to tell whether it's actually dead or just stuck, and what you can do to bring it back to life. Click on the screen to find out why a system that's been rebooting often ends up totally blank, and what you can do when it reaches that point.